Thanks for joining us, everybody. We're excited. My name's Don Murray.
And I'm Dale Lutz.
And yeah, we're here to share with you this morning the unveiling of FME 2018, which we're extremely excited about.
So we're the two co-founders of Safe Software. I've lost track. What number is the release, Don, of this? Do you know what release number this is?
No, no, I don't. So that was a question. I try to anticipate your questions, but that was not one. Let's see, we have
our crack group of starting with FME 1.4.7.
That's right.
They can tell us.
They might have to run down the hall and look at in my office. There's a CD release of all of them, and I think there's 3 times 8, so that's 8, 16, 24. I think we're missing. So I'm going to say 32 or 33.
Yikes, because we used to do 2 a year for a while.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
So anyway, it's been a lot of releases, but this one, both of us are truly very proud of what the team has done, and it's exciting to share with you today many of the highlights. Now, to be very clear, we cannot do justice to just about anything in this 1 hour that we've got. So we're going to spend half an hour looking at the desktop and engine, and half an hour on the server side of things. And let's see, what else would we say? Basically, there's going to be deep dives.
That's right. There's going to be deep dives in February 22nd and 23rd, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got links at the end of the webinar where the others of the team will dig in far deeper, but this will give you an idea of where we're headed. Yeah.
So let's get going.
Okay.
So today we have the betas available. So please, we encourage everybody to go and grab them. You can just go to wsafe.com/downloads. You'll find it there. And give it a try. As you can see, we have the release candidate in about a month from now, and then the official release in about 2 months from now. So the more people who download it and beat it up and tell us what they like, tell us what they don't like, the better it will be.
It allows us to just polish those last few things.
Yeah, exactly. So our theme, of course, connect, transform, and automate, and the first 2 are all about the authoring and the engine. So
wow. Okay, so a big long list, nothing like this probably violates some sort of rule of presentations.
Yes,
there's a few too many points on here.
A few too many. The text is too small.
We should have put all 54 of the new Google based formats on here too.
So
I don't know, we should maybe start at the top and just kind of talk about highlights. On the indoor mapping side.
The whole indoor mapping side. So there's a few that you're going to see. Apple venue format. There's also the here venue format that'll be coming. And then there's, Tri-Riga through the hub and ArcGIS indoor. So indoor mapping is a big, one of the big sort of cornerstones of this release.
Yeah.
So
we've been working with our friends at Bentley for quite a while, and we're very pleased to unveil the iModel reader, which we've been working on for a long time. Does a very good job of reading iModels, which is Bentley's interchange format within their family. For the first time we can add a lot of stuff. Now to use that, you have to use a Bentley product and export whatever you're working on as an iModel, and then off we go.
Okay.
So
a lot of work on GDAL this release. So you want to talk a little bit about what we did there? I mean, huge.
So what we did was actually some customers have wanted us for a long time to support these things called virtual raster tables, I think VRT, which is an XML file that Google experts can put together that points in turn to a whole bunch of other files. So if you have one of these things that points to, one of them had 80,000 files, then FME will access those in a very optimized way through the Google open source raster stuff. But falling out of that VRT work, we then had the ability to read anything that Google supports. We always put a little wrapper on Google things and made them FME-like to get the best experience. But for some number of formats that maybe Google has done that we haven't got around to exposing, now they can be read directly. And that's where that 54 comes from. There's also a Google generic reader. You won't get quite the same level of finish, but hey, if you're just wanting the image, off it goes. And so that's what that whole chunk there is about, and we're very excited. And also, we just finished upgrading to the absolute latest Google, I think 2.2.3. So that's what's in FME.
Yeah. You can see some other things there, some more cloud formats, Google Cloud Spanner, Reader and Writer. LDAP, which is, we want to read Active Directory.
If you want to read Active Directory to find out who's in your organization, you can. The Microsoft PowerPoint and Word, we've got some slides coming up on those.
PDF Reader, that's another exciting one, being able to read that. That's been something people have asked for a long time.
It's our highest vote. So it's won both the Electoral College and the popular vote. So we're declaring it a winner. And I think our Norwegian friends would like the saucy sosi.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's saucy or sosi.
I don't know.
We should ask for Siggy to tell us. Yeah. Saucy or sosi. And just the I3S Dawn. I guess we got a slide coming up on that too.
That we do. Yep.
So,
okay.
On the transformer side, 3D buffering, and actually I know there's a move afoot actually to get rid of that in the next couple of days. Did you know that?
Yeah, we're going to change it, or we're just
not? It's going to actually be merged with the other buffer.
And then nice.
2 or 3D.
Yeah, that's good. That
3D basically just runs a sphere down the line.
Yeah.
And puffs something up.
Yeah. Basically. So nice. And HDFS connector for Hadoop. So if any of you are using Hadoop, give that one a try. That's one we really would like to get feedback on.
Yeah.
So anybody using Hadoop. A brand new joiner, you're going to talk a bit about that.
Yeah, that's for basically it's a replacement for the feature merger. So we'll get into that.
Right. It's
not to be confused. If you're an old timer, it's different than the old joiner.
That's right. That's right. And then some more Microsoft PowerPoint stuff.
Yeah.
The ProjectWise connector, that just made it in the last few days. Did it? Yeah. And Salesforce connector we're excited about too. So again, if you're using Salesforce, give these a try. Yeah.
And there's a rumor that there may be a mesh generalizer or something.
Yeah, I know the underlying functionality is needed for our I3S stuff.
Yes. So anyway, we can simplify meshes. Whether or not it makes it right away into a transformer, can't promise, but it's the direction.
Yeah, and the underlying technology is there, so that's exciting. Yeah. And so also all the things on FME Hub. So the links there, I won't go there right now, but if you go to FME Hub, you're going to see things being added there on a constant basis. Right now, there's 396 custom transformers. There was one just the other day all about doing geocoding with U.S. Census data. So so if you haven't gone to the Hub, go to the Hub. It's more stuff's being added there by us as well as all the users around the world. So that's an exciting place. And in future releases, we're really going to put a lot of effort into Hub to make it easier and easier and enable you to make better looking transformers and
collaborate with us even.
Exactly. So indoor mapping formats. Excited about this. This is one person I was on a webinar with. A person said, "Oh, you guys are doing the third leg of the stool," and I was like, not sure what the other two legs were. And then eventually he mentioned that they were GIS and CAD. And so when you think about it, BIM is like, sort of the next generation CAD, if you want to say. And we've been doing CAD to GIS forever. And so BIM is a natural extension for us. We've been doing 3D, so we've been doing all the things we need to do. So in this release, we have support for the Apple venue format, the Here venue format. IBM TriRiga, there's some FME Hub connectors there that enable you to pull data from TriRiga and push data to TriRiga, and more are coming all the time. And on ArcGIS Indoors, currently there's going to be templates there that have for ArcGIS Indoor reading and writing. The data models still evolving fairly fast, and so we don't want to make a format because then we won't be able to track it as quickly. So that's another advantage of Hub, is as things are changing quickly, we can quickly adapt within a release. So So this just shows, this screen is just a screenshot of the Vancouver Airport showing their indoor mapping model. This one happened to be in their own custom format called GeoJSON, but we can read that too. So
Hey, so this is my reference is the 90s movie, I think maybe it was in the 2000s, with John Travolta and Nicolas Cage, called Face Off.
Didn't one tear a face off?
They actually each put each other's face. They switched ID. I think they just switched roles. They didn't really switch faces. They just switched roles.
Tricky.
But anyway, that's what we got going here. So on the left-hand side is the data inspector showing a geospatial PDF that we've read, and on the right-hand side is the same thing being viewed in Acrobat Reader. And so we're able to pick out all the vector features, the coordinate system, the raster features, the colors, basically really pulling it all out. So that's on the spatial and side of things, but we also can pull out text out of PDF as well. And
how about tables?
Only if it was made with Excel.
You
almost need machine learning in general to
Yeah.
tables out.
Yeah.
But if somebody was nasty and they dumped their Excel to PDF, we can pull it back.
Nice.
And give you that back. So this was a high vote getter, and looking forward to seeing what people will be doing. And my joke is that if PDF is where data goes to die, then that means the subtitle for FME 2018 is Data Resurrection.
That's right. So we could have the lizard in a phoenix suit rising out of the ashes.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be
Holding his PDF.
holding his PDF or just, with a bag of data from the PDF. Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway,
Yes.
exciting. Yeah. Yeah. 3D web visualization. So we're excited about this as well. We do Esri i3S writing. So here's some models showing Esri i3S. This is New York. And we got on the one on the right there, Dale and I requested our favorite kind of texture, which is checkerboards.
Yes.
So this is what New York City would look like if every building had a checkerboard. And yeah, and so that works ongoing. We also do GLTF and cesium. So we've taken those to the next level as well. So and FME and FME server are perfect environments for just creating these 3D visualizations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here we can take a quick look at the kinds of things we can do when in terms of democratizing data and dumping it out in these various Word, Excel, and PowerPoint formats, basically the Microsoft Office family. So the stylers let you decorate features that are heading out to Word or PowerPoint, and actually even Excel, and so that when they arrive there, you can do different things. So you can put out, in the case of Word, you can put out rasters and of course bullet points and headings and text and so on. On the next slide, we can see in PowerPoint, we can make a variety of different slide types, but one that's quite unique to the FME PowerPoint writer is the ability to dump an actual vector map out there. So you could, of course, always rasterize using Mapnik Rasterizer and make an image, but you instead can actually send vector features. They'll get a label, a hyperlink, and so on, and they can be edited afterwards. So there, I've just taken a Yukon and separated it from the rest of Canada. And it all just works.
Yeah, and if you talk about some workflow automation, let's say you have to make a report on a monthly basis, maybe you have to do a Google Doc or you have to do a slideshow. Now you can just have a workspace that runs whenever you need to on a schedule, generates this, and now you have all your tables, charts, whatever you need, and you can ready to go. So it can save you tons of time.
Right, so it isn't really the main thing of FME to automate what I'm about to say, but you could. We can read LDAP, we can read the Active Directory, and then you could diff the Active Directory that you just read to the one you had from before. The new employees, sort them, and make a nice PowerPoint presentation of each new employee, and maybe with their photo that you scooped up from somewhere, and have that automatically generated every month. But more likely, you want to make a presentation of where the pothole crew fixed potholes. You could do that. Read from a database, generate a set of slides, and it's very, very powerful, able to do that.
So how about Excel?
Well, we continue to work on our Excel. This is an example showing the Excel styler in action.
I love your use of color here. Just, you know.
It's bold and impressive, but basically you can decorate and advise Excel how you want every cell to look when it hits the output. So
like Winnipegosis. I thought that was if somebody told me I was coming down with Winnipegosis, I think I would Winnipeg. Oh yeah.
I don't know that that's a word. Like
that
Mark
sounds like
Island in Winnipeg. I never noticed that before. Lake Winnipegosis. All right. Well, we'll ask our folks at home whether that's a typo or a real place.
That's right.
Lake Manitoba, I know. I know Lake Manitoba is not Lake Manitoba. But anyway.
See something new every time. Augmented reality. This is a fun one.
Yes. So shortly there'll be a free app on the App Store on the iPhone or iOS side called FME AR, FME Augmented Reality, and we have a way that basically we zip up an OBJ file and its textures, call that .FME AR, and then that thing can read it and slap it on top of the table, and you can walk around and look at things.
So that really should be on the new format list. We should have made it FME.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
There's a good point. For the deep dive.
For the deep dive, we can do that. So somebody should make a note of that.
So what we're showing there is a scene put together in FME where we got an elevation model, a satellite photo, and then I think there was Dimitri's hike in the mountains, a GPS track. Slap those all together in FME, make a nice 3D surface, and then dump that out to FMEAR, and then
Yeah, and now you could walk around that, it would stay where it is, and then you could zoom in and out, pinching and
rotating and stuff.
rotating.
And so
Yeah.
it's pretty slick. We've
Yeah.
done building models in there too, and it
Yeah.
really helps you understand what's
You
going
can go
on.
inside the buildings as well.
Yeah.
So some workbench enhancements, lots of interesting stuff on workbench as well.
This affects everyone.
Yeah, exactly, because with FME, it all starts at the workbench.
Yeah.
So this is a big deal.
The collapsible bookmarks.
Yeah, this has totally changed the way I work with FME. I used to always make custom transformers within just as a way of abstracting what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And now I make just bookmarks, and you can collapse them. The nice thing is you can resize them after you collapse them to get them out of the way. And then when you expand them, things also shift out of the way to avoid overlap.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
They'll make room for their content. So this allows, and I've already seen presentations of people using FME 2018. They gravitate towards these immediately, and it, first of all, it adds color.
Yeah.
Long time wanted thing, but also it really lets you focus on what is actually going on here.
Yeah.
So
and this is a clever use.
Mark Ireland
Yeah.
came up with this. You can use these on the, in case you missed it, on the right-hand side. He came up with this idea of a collapsible bookmark that has a documentation, which has a set of nested collapsible bookmarks. You can keep nesting them, and when you open them up, you can read it all and close them back down.
Yeah, and the ones underneath, again, shift down. So if you opened FME prerequisites there, the installation instructions would shift down.
Yes.
And so it's really, really nice way to document. Of course, you could put those inside the transformers themselves, and then everything would shift down. So really, from a documentation standpoint, this is huge. And I, like you, I never really thought of that.
Yeah.
So, hats off. That's why he's our
he's the evangelist.
He's our evangelist. Yeah.
That's when you're in Manitoba, you can think of inspiring things.
Absolutely.
I should go there sometime.
Yeah. I think here this fall is really nice.
Is that right?
Yeah. So what's this one about? Copying, pasting, transformer.
Yes, test conditions.
Yeah.
So sometimes people have fairly complicated conditions, and they want to copy them other places or deal with them in other spots. And so all that stuff like that, conditional values and the test conditions and so on, can be copied and then pasted into a different table somewhere.
Yeah.
And so, we've got the icons on the bottom to kind of clue you in on those tables.
Yeah.
That there's a cut, copy, paste.
Yeah.
It's all able to be done. Another big vote getter
Yeah.
on the ideas exchange and people like that.
It was really difficult before with testers. You wanted another one, you wanted to borrow a row, you had to recreate it, and
Yeah.
really nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is an example of a little thing, but it's a big thing. Sometimes you might have a really big log and you want to quickly see where all the errors were. And so now you can simply click a button and the errors toggle, and each one toggles on, so you can click the error one once and then you'd only see errors, and you click it again and you see everything. Similarly with warnings. Yeah. So really good.
Yeah.
Partial runs.
So this is in the category of game-changing use of FME. The deep divers, I'm sure, will show this in a bit more detail. It's still under a little bit of refinement, and we'll probably put it out as a tech preview in FME 2018.0. But what it allows is you flip on, and I think we're going to change the old run with full inspection to say run with feature caching or something.
Yeah.
Run with caching.
Yeah.
And when that's turned on, then you can display what was at any spots. So those little green boxes that you see inside of the feature types and ports allow you to click there, and then it'll show you what was there. But also, if you click on any transformer, you get those three buttons above that says run to this point, run only this one, or run from here on down. And
really nice. And if you're working with the databases or web services or anything, you got a big workspace and you don't want to run the part that's in front of it, then what you can do is simply run that one transformer. You can see the output, or run from this. So as a guy who works a lot with web services, I'm really excited about this. It'll allow me to iterate really quickly. So,
it is fantastic. You do have to watch out if any of your transformers are sort of making a global change, then you can get yourself into trouble. So for example, the variable setters I noticed don't work too well with this.
Right.
Because,
Yeah.
and if you were calling a Python script that basically stored things in a file or whatever, you could get yourself in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah.
But in general, if you're just doing pretty normal plain development, it's pretty spectacular.
Yeah.
And this combined with what Don's going to show on the next slide is truly game changing, because this is, and I hope the folks at home are able to see this, the animation there showing the embedded data inspector inside of Workbench. So now as you are working, when you click on different areas, you're going to see what data went by at that spot.
Yeah.
And so this, I like to tell the story of the marshmallows and little kids. So an indicator of future success in life is how your child responds to this experiment. Put them in a room and say, here's a marshmallow, and if you eat it now, that's it. But if you wait for 5 minutes, you can have 3.
Oh, wow.
And so FME has always been designed for those children who would wait for 5 minutes and have 3. Because you do all this running and you put it all together, and then, okay, I think I like it, and you hit run, and then you get your marshmallow. And so what this feature lets us do is you can have your marshmallow right away.
There you go.
Because as you're working, you can see what's going on.
That's right. Yeah.
So
I never. That's a great analogy there. Would have never come up with that on my own.
The thing is that the only about a third of the kids want to wait for 5 minutes to have their marshmallows.
Is that right? Most of them will just
they want to eat that.
They're just going to eat that marshmallow right away.
And so we think that's going to make FME attractive to 2/3 more people.
There you go.
The instant eaters of marshmallows.
Yeah. So performance. So yeah, FME 2017. We spent a lot of time in FME 2017 redoing many of the plumbing to set us up for the future.
Yeah.
And so that was a huge body of work, very, very difficult. But now we're through that. So now in FME 2018, we're able to really focus on building on that new platform and taking it to the next level.
The future is now.
It is. The future is now.
So we put 2 numbers down here. You know, I can make any number you want. Sure. And so the bottom line is, I know one of the viewers here today has tweeted that they think they need to get their eyes checked. FME 2018 seems so fast.
Yeah.
And so
so these numbers are indicative of what we're seeing when you run test suites, when we, doing anything with
there
FME.
Certainly will be things that are no faster.
Yeah, and there's certainly things that are going to be a lot faster.
And just because we want to show off, we'll dig into one of those.
Yeah.
So this is a 1 million record read and sort when run in Workbench.
Yeah.
And so when you're reading 1 million records, there's a lot of those counts get updated, and that slows stuff down. So anyway, in 2017.1, that took nearly 2 minutes.
Yeah.
In 2018, it's 9 seconds. And I'm going to ask Don to run it.
Okay.
Are you ready to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm ready to do that. So we go to FME 2018. We go to release here. It's going to be here somewhere. Uh-oh.
It might be in your recent workspaces or not.
Yeah. Oh, fast sorting. That was it.
Fast sorting. Yeah, not slow sorting.
This is the one you wanted, right?
Yeah. Drag that FMW on there.
Yeah. Yeah, even opened the right one.
That's always, for me, it never does.
Yeah, I know. After I double clicked, I wondered, because I'm about 50% of the time. So here we go. And yeah, so you ready for me to run this?
Yeah, so we're going to run 1 million here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. And with any luck, we're reading about 1 million records. Now, this is admittedly a very small data model. There's only 2 columns in this thing. So they're going up by 100,000 at a time.
Yeah.
And we're sorting that.
Yeah.
And okay.
Now we're going to run it.
I don't know if we're going to make, we made 9 seconds.
Yeah.
9.5.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot going on in this machine, to be fair to this machine. It's got server
runner again.
Yeah. Okay.
It sometimes needs a little bit of
love.
Well, it needs to kind of
get everything loaded.
Push everybody else out. You have an FME server running here somewhere, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So there it goes.
Yeah.
So anyway, reading 1 million and sorting them.
17, even if it was 17 seconds.
Yes.
Compared to the 2 minutes, that's
yeah.
That's pretty impressive. I gotta say. So there we go.
It's not as fast as on mine, but anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
20 seconds is still not too bad. I'm sure
compared to the 2 minutes. Yeah, that's right.
So anyway, that's the kind of thing that can happen in some scenarios. And so basically your mileage is going to vary, but some things are going to be drastically faster and some things only just a bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, in any case, we're pretty pleased.
Yeah, absolutely. So So what about Python?
Well, we didn't really change too much in it, but we've made the documentation much better. So with any luck, does that thing hyperlink or not? Oh yeah, it did.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So we got a whole new way that the documentation is structured,
Yeah.
which is drastically nicer.
Oh, it's so much nicer than the old. It's
yeah,
not even,
yeah. If you go into the API reference, for example, we should see, yeah, try clicking on that one.
Yeah.
Then you can go into, say, the features, or yeah, click on one of those guys.
Sure. And you can just,
Yeah, you start to see
you know,
yeah.
just how nice this is. Yep. And these
Yeah.
things are clickable too. I mean.
Yeah, and then you get all the methods and so on.
Yeah.
So in any case, if you're a Python type of person, you're going to have much, much, much better doc.
Yeah. So there we go. Okay.
All right. Did I goof up your slides? No.
Well, a little bit, but it's in some weird state now. Huh. Okay.
What was the previous one? Did we miss one?
Yeah, we did. Yep.
We missed it last time too. The
Yep.
feature writer's output port.
That's right. Try that.
Maybe get escape in there.
And
then-
escape in here.
Like click on there. Yeah. Now you
Okay.
can
Now
see.
we yeah, I've got in some weird, funky.
Yeah. All right. So the feature writer. Dimitri said that he's never used a feature writer where he didn't need this.
Yes.
And that is, so what's going to happen here is we're going to hold the data. If you want it, and then when the yellow sort of thing there, it asks, what do you want for output ports?
Yep.
If you say I want one for every feature type, then we're going to hold that data,
Yeah.
keep it until after everything is written, and then let it loose.
That's right.
And
that's
so
right.
you'll know that it's done
Yeah.
by the time it carries
Yeah,
on.
and I like what we've done with the specified too, because then you can decide which ones you actually want,
Yeah.
because you might care about some and not others. And so yeah, so in the past, often with feature writers, you had to use a feature merger after if you want to do something after it, and it could get, it was a lot more work.
Yeah.
So, yeah, really nice. So tolerance.
Well, FME used to be intolerant, but no longer.
Yeah, so we used to try to be accurate right to, well, we were accurate right to, hydrogen atoms. And so, but really, there's not much data we work with that is that accurate. So now in FME 2018, under the tolerance mode, we have this thing called automatic, and you can see, the difference. So the one in the middle there, the blue one, sort of like we got a brain there with a Voronoi. And the one in the middle is what happens if you dissolve that with no tolerance. It takes 42 seconds to do that. And if you actually say automatic, not only do you get probably the right answer, but it's one of those rare times in life you get the right answer faster than you get a wrong answer.
It tastes great and it's less filling.
That's right. Because generally speaking, you can get the wrong answer faster than you can get the right answer.
So we still haven't decided if we should make automatic the default everywhere. Don and I think yes. The team is a little nervous to flip it on because it is new, but but we think that you probably want the right hand output. Absolutely. And I like the look of that performance. That's about not quite 4 times faster, but dissolve usually gets maligned.
Yeah.
And so I think if you put the tolerance on, you're going to be happier with your dissolve for sure.
Yeah, and you can see the list of transformers that this has been added to at this point.
And we'll just mention on the way by that we've also done a huge amount of work in the robustness, especially involving arcs. So if you have complicated data with arcs as in the boundary, FME 2018 just loves those arcs and works basically stem to stern with arcs as a native mathematical principle in all of the computations now.
And how about clothoids and land XML? We now read that.
That's right. So if you want to impress friends at a party, then you can mention that you just say, how about those clothoids? And see what people say. But for those that don't know, that's a real geometric thing for road designers that model exit ramps.
That's right, on ramps and off ramps.
Okay.
Yeah, and then some format and transformer improvements. The S3 transformers now, we have an S3 connector, as well as you can now browse Amazon S3 when you select a file from the web. So that was something we never got to in 2017. We had added that ability, but never made it to S3. And you can also see HDFS there.
In that way as well.
Yeah. And again, the creator supports clothoids. Coordinate systems, never ending.
Never ending. So we did a little bit of work for our friends in Australia with the Good Day 2020. which that just went in actually in the last few days. The official grid got released by Australia in the last week or two, and now it's part of FME. And if you're in Niedersachsen, then we'll do a great job of the datum shift there, thanks to longtime FME friend Wolfgang Hausch, actually.
Awesome.
Helped us with that. And my entire career, both before and after starting SAFE, has been one of working on Malaysian coordinate systems. You'd think that it would come to an end at some point, but nope. And I actually found out from Paul there's still some more work to do. So next year will be a highlight, but one day we shall prevail, and Malaysia coordinate systems will be completely fantastic in all possible systems. The trivia there is that Malaysia uses this thing called rectified skewed orthomorphic, RSO.
Yep.
Some British guy picked that in the 20s or I don't know when.
Yep.
And the first British guy screwed up and used one of them with the wrong parameter in that thing. So it isn't really RSO in Malaysia. It's basically all the maps were made with that error. And therefore that is the standard. And that has caused every mapping system known to man to have a big problem and never actually work properly.
Is that right? Interesting.
And one by one, people have to go and go, oh crap, we'll make the Malaysian change. So anyway, we're making it.
And once it's all done, good excuse to have ice cream cake.
I think so. Maybe go to Malaysia to celebrate.
Absolutely. It's nice there. Okay. Oh, I think.
It skipped one on
you. It did. Yeah, it's a big image. So now we're going to talk a bit about what we've done on server. And lots of work has gone in here as well. So the first thing we've done, and this again is the number one thing people have asked for, and that is all around workspace or job viewing. So if I go here and I want to see my jobs by my user, I can simply click just me, and then I can look at my jobs that have failed. Okay, so then I'm only looking at the jobs that have failed, and I can look at all jobs and successful jobs. And so this work is ongoing, of course. Huge list of things folks want. The number one thing by far was the ability to filter by user and by failed jobs. So now I can find that. So give this a try. Let us know what else you would like, and we'll be sure to work on that as well. Okay, so that's the first thing. Password recovery. In the past, it's with FME Server, you had to talk to your administrator if you forgot your password, and so that's no good. And so what we've added for FME 2017 is we've added this ability for you to set up your password. So if you look on this machine here, I've turned on reset password. I just have to specify a few things about which email I'm going to use to reset that password. And now on this machine, when I log out and I log back in, you're going to see I have this forgot your password. So then I would simply enter, my name, and then I would say forgot password, and it's going to give me it's going to send me I got to enter my name here, and it's going to send me an email. I would simply click the email, and then I'm going to get a link to reset that. So we're pretty excited about this. This shows what it looks like. Forgot your password, Dawn. I'm going to get an email, and when I click that email, I'm going to be able to specify my new password because it's going to send me a link like that. So, and in fact, administrators now could not even set a password for a user if they wanted to, simply specify the email address.
Right. First
time you go in, say you forgot, and because the email address has been set up, which is important. So if I go here, I'll just mention this. The big thing now is for the administrators, they need to make sure when they create a user that they actually specify that they're going to specify an email address. So if I look on this one, if I look on this user Dawn, you'll see that an email address was set up. So now I can actually get back the password. So that's that. Okay. Deployment visualization. Where we're going with this is really key in a distributed deployment. You'll be able to see the different machines and what components of FME Server are on each machine. So so this will really be nice as we're seeing more and more larger deployments of FME server that are spread across many machines, and this ability to graphically see that is really key. And again, that is under engines and licensing. There's this thing called host status. We'll change the name of that, but this is a very boring one, but you get the idea. Also, when I click on a node, all the node information is there, so I can start to see further information. So in this way, we can have minimal in the graphic, but give you all the other information that you might want about a particular node. Okay, so yeah. Projects, now when you share projects, you can do it in a way without sharing security credentials. Ultimately, this will end up on FME Hub. So in the past, when you created a project, the project was ready to go. If I gave that to somebody, they'd just be able to upload it and run it. But I might want to give Dale my project, but not give him the connections to my, my database or my Gmail. So now I can give him that. When he goes to open the project, those connections will be there, so he won't have to, figure out what to call the connections, but he'll be able to specify his own security credentials. So that's a big deal there. You can see the box down there where if I want to exclude that, I do that, and now I can share that and not worry that some of my connection information is been distributed with that. So that's the other thing. Fault tolerance, not to be confused with tolerance, is something that we've really focused on FME 2018. We rewrote some major components, and so now if you build an FME server that's fault tolerant across different hosts, everything just works. It's much easier. You don't have to worry about active, 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 passive. You have multiple queuing systems that are shared, so you don't have to worry about jobs being executed twice. All the services work, all the schedules work. And the idea is you should be able to go to a configuration like that that's set up and pull any machine off, and the system should just continue to run, enabling you to upgrade hardware, add components, remove components, and it will all just continue to work. So enhanced security. I'll show you this one. This one is enables you to do key rotation. So if I go to security here, and or maybe it's under here. Oh, having a system. Here we go. Encryption. Here we go. We have this FME ships with a encrypted database. It's such that if I do a system backup and then go to a new machine, the new machine will be able to basically load that. But now what we can do with FME servers, we have this new restricted mode. And what this means is it allows you to change the key, the encryption key on the FME server database. If you lose this key, there's no way that we can recover this database. It truly is encrypted using really high DoD level security. And so you've got to guard that key. If you have a FME server that you've used your own key and you back it up, in order to restore it, you're going to have that key file. So it's like a PEM file. Yeah. So so all is good. Excited about that. And this enables key rotation. Yeah. Okay. So that's that. FME server. Our dark mode must be coming up. Maybe we skipped that one. Is it coming up?
I think it's coming up.
Oh, it's coming up. Okay. So FME server on Docker, for those who are into deploying things using containers, is now out of technology preview. So we've been using it internally for a long time. There's several clients who have deployed it on Docker, and so we're excited about that. And moving forward, you're going to hear more and more about containers and Kubernetes and a whole bunch of things about deploying FME server.
That really is the future.
Yeah,
so if you are an IT architect and you aren't aware of Docker, highly recommend you look at it. Don uses this, and actually many of the people here just to even run experimental FME servers on their own computers. It's a fantastic way.
Yeah. And then I update daily to get the latest build, and and in fact some of the demos you've been looking at have been using Docker.
Right.
So version control. We're excited about this. So an FME server now, we have version control. So if I go here and on this particular system, I've turned on version control. So if I look at features, you're going to see I have version control on. A couple of things. If you want, you can also connect this version control to Git or GitHub on the back end, but you don't need to. Right now, I haven't done that, but I've turned on version control. And so what this means now is if I go to my my workspaces and I look at Dawn.elastic, say, then okay. Now this one here, I can look at it and there's a history. It says version 1. Okay, if I go to my workbench here and I get rid of this, no, I don't want to save that. And I go here and I grab a recent one and I look at, which one was it? Child. There it is, child. Okay, really, and I move it around a bit and I want to commit it. I can simply publish to FME server. Connection is blue sky. Okay, and now you'll see there's this versioning thing here.
Yeah.
And when version's on, I see that. And now I can add to version history and I can say this is 1.1, you know, improved logging or something like that. I say, okay. I continue, yeah, I publish it, okay, it's up there. And so now I go over here. If I look at my history now, you'll see I have, I have it. And you can also download these. So if I want to just download to the desktop.
Yes.
And one thing that Dale pointed out that, geez, it'd be really nice if I could just download when I didn't have versioning on. And that's like one of those things, how did we miss that? And so in the future, you can expect the ability to have a download button right here.
To get you presumably the most recent version.
We're going to talk about this guy in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. So so that's version control. Yeah.
We do intend to ultimately have Workbench itself also be able to connect to repository.
That's right.
So that's coming eventually, not in FME 2018, but we know folks want that.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, so this is just for, okay, yeah, this is just for you to get the slide. Dark mode. This is a crowd pleaser. So now I might not like this. I might want to go to dark mode, depends, who you are kind of thing. So if I go like this, now I'm in dark mode and everybody, likes this.
If you like the new Star Trek, then it would say dark alert.
And again, back to
the light.
Come back to the light side or the dark side, wherever you want to be.
But the fans like the dark mode.
The fans like the dark side. Yeah, they do. So so there's that one.
Bruce Harold wants to know if Workbench is getting dark mode. We were part of the way there, but it just didn't quite finish off.
That's right.
So it'll be something to look forward to.
In 2018.x or 2019.
Either one.
Either one, yeah.
It feels like it should be winnable.
It should be. It should be. This is definitely a preview. This is the whole ability to easily build what we're calling automations. What this is this a visual layer on top of our notifications framework? So to build anything with notifications, you have to worry about all the little building blocks. So let's say if you want to watch an FTP directory like this one, you'd have to create an FTP watcher, publish to a topic that you would give a name. You have to remember that name. Then you have to bolt on an FME workspace subscriber to that, and you're managing absolutely everything. So a lot of the details that really, you don't really want to bother with. In this new world, you'll simply drag and drop components, configure them, and the connections and all the data flow will be worked out for you. So we have this in 20.18.x is well, it's going to be in .x as a tech preview. It's probably not even in .0 at this point.
Right.
Yeah. Which we're close. We're so close, but there's just a few things that we want to get done. So because right now you would be able to taste what you want to do, but not quite.
You can look at the menu, but you just can't choose.
Oh,
that's what it's like. No one is to blame, Don.
Wow.
Howard Jones.
Was that who it was? I was going to guess Weird Al.
Well, I'm sure he did a version. But the idea here is that you'll be able to chain together these workflows that basically I want to wait for some environment to change, trigger something, and then I will run one or more workspaces, and then I'm going to do something with the results.
Yeah.
And it becomes really, really easy to set these things up.
Yeah.
And
we're really excited about this. This is huge, but a huge amount of work too. But we've made huge strides on this, so we're really excited about this.
Yeah.
Okay. Workspace viewing. So let's go look at that. So, I'm in dark mode even. I've never done this in dark mode, so this is very exciting.
There's some risk involved.
That's right. That's right. So you'll notice in every workspace, I have these little binoculars. And if I simply, this one's not too exciting, but whatever. If I click on it, you're going to see, yeah, okay, well, yeah, disable dark mode. It's a little small. Oh, I got some text there. That must be my, well, still, I have a better one than this. Yeah.
That's why it's preview.
That's right. And you're zooming in and out. We need a nice plus and minus at the top there. So yeah. So anyway, we'll get to
zoom in and out.
I don't know. I asked somebody and nobody's got back to me yet. So yeah. So anyway, we're about, oh yeah. So workspace viewer. So now I can go in here, and I know a good one is on dashboard, say. And I'm going to go for job history statistics gathering. And this is a bigger one. This one also has a custom transformer in it.
Okay.
So if I click on this, yes, it shows the parameters, and yes, I can open the custom transformer, and there you go. You can see. So you can start to see where we're going. Right now it zooms all the way out to show you everything always, and I'm sure there is a way to zoom in, but it's going to come in the next hour or so.
Yes.
So yeah.
But anyway, we mostly are letting people know that that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
You'll be able to view, and then the next thing will be to fiddle with the published parameters, because I think, Don, if you click on any one of those transformers, you'll be able to see the published parameters, or sorry, the parameters of them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, you will be able to very shortly. Yeah.
I thought you could.
I thought you could. But anyway, yeah. This is only beta. We're not quite. Yeah. So,
in any case,
so they're working on a bunch of things for us. But you can see where this is. One thing that we're going to do pretty quickly will allow you to change the private parameters. Right now, many workspaces have private parameters. You can set up private parameters. Currently on server, there's no way to change those without downloading them and republishing them, which is not a very nice workflow. So those are an obvious one. Be able to change the private parameters if you had the authoring role on server.
Yeah.
So So yeah, very exciting. And as Dale said, you can see where we're headed with this. So yeah. And
so that's really it for the highlights at a like a 50,000 foot level.
Yeah.
Bottom line, we spend a lot of time on speed. We spend a lot of time listening to what users want, and we feel pretty proud about what we're going to be releasing here in 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, very exciting. A huge release. It's really great to have FME 2017 where we did all that foundational stuff. Really, we lifted the whole building up, and then did a lot of stuff underneath, and then set it back down. So massive tasks. And so now we can focus on just pushing and leveraging that great framework moving forward. So world tour.
We're going to be out all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't know, the kickoff for that thing is mid-March in Vancouver.
Right, in Vancouver. And then we wait about 3 weeks, I think. And then we hit North America in April.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the SAFE crew.
And it goes all the way to June.
Internationally, I think there probably would be some even sort of mid to late March as well.
Yeah.
And I think a total of, well, it says there, it's more than 70
more
cities.
Than 70 cities, yeah.
So it should be really exciting, and we'll look forward to meeting all of you that are on board here today, listening in, and hearing how you're enjoying or not enjoying FME. We always want to know what we can improve, and really look forward to that. And also on that event, we'll be able to dig in much deeper into the types of things we were showing today.
That's right.
And I'm sure by then we'll figure out how we can zoom in on that as well.
Yeah. There's also 2 deep dive webinars we mentioned at the beginning. And for those, again, we'll have a full hour on desktop, full hour on server, and really be able to dive in and show you, where we are. That's over a month from now. So
So I will have returned from a trip to Ethiopia on the 20th. So you should tune in and find out if I made it back.
That's right. That's right.
And how, I'm going to be really zippy, I'm sure.
Yeah. Ethiopia is in a different time zone. I'm going to go out on the limb there. Is it plus 10 or?
It's got to be around that.
Yeah.
So I may be a little bit off balance. It'll feel like it's 8 at night for me.
Well, that's perfect.
Should be good. That's usually when I start getting going. If I could start work every day at that time, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, that's right.
But Don will be fresh and at it on
on the 22nd on the server. And so I'll be doing that one, I think, with Jen, who leads our experts group on server. And so really looking forward to that. And we are so excited about this release. I can't believe it. Yeah.
Actually, I should say I'm not actually even doing the webinar. I'm going to be on the Q&A.
Oh, okay.
So I may chime in just to say hi, but I think it's Tiana and Annabelle that are doing the desktop deep dive.
Nice.
So
yeah.
Look forward to that for sure.
Yeah. And now I think we can take a look at some Q&A.
Yes. So let's see. What are the folks asking? Some people were teasing you, Don, about the hard rule of 10 transformers and how collapsible bookmarks may allow some fudging of that.
Yes, I had not. I just want to thank people for pointing that out. I had not thought of that.
Yes.
But yes.
So that was Bruce Harold and Stephen Cyphers independly kind of picking on you.
Picking on me about that.
So is it 10 collapsible bookmarks is now the new limit? Or
yeah, it must be. Yeah.
Yeah, or was it more of a guideline?
Well, yeah, it's more of a thing. Yeah, and that's kind of funny. I've actually had people, in all seriousness, sort of send me email apologizing. And really, the whole 10 thing is so that when we're demoing it, sort of I say, if I can't demo it in 10 transformers, then it's too hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have people that were sort of challenging our pronunciation of Goodle.
Okay, it's GDAL, isn't it?
Well, I go with what the originator Frank Warmerdam.
Okay, well, you go right back to the source.
Yes, and Frank Warmerdam calls it Goodle.
Yeah.
But then what's funny is the other sort of part of Goodle is called OGR.
Right.
Which we called Ogre.
That's right.
And Frank was insulted a little bit.
He did not like it. He did not like Ogre.
So that should be called OGR.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, according to Frank, Goodle.
Yeah.
But GDAL, I suppose, will be accepted.
Okay, I've heard both. Yeah.
But we won't. I think we're among friends. So
it's like TCL. Is it TCL or Tickle, right?
I think Tickle is sort of disrespectful.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah.
So, but we don't hardly use it anymore. There's no controversy about Python. Somebody asked, do we think that the small world reading will be drastically improved? I don't think it'll be improved to the level we saw here, but there is plumbing in place that should improve it.
Yeah.
To some degree. Are these slides going to be made available?
Yes.
Yes. So the team here, Stephanie and crew, will have this up, I suspect, by tomorrow.
And everybody who attended gets an email, and so in that email we'll put the link to the slide deck.
Yeah. Somebody said they were going to pass out when they saw the ability to filter failed jobs.
Yeah.
So I hope, Eric, you were sitting down and.
Yeah, I hope. Yeah, and I hope if you feel that way, wear a helmet, please.
Yes. When you first do that. Victor asks, when will we be able to compare versions of a workspace?
Oh, we have a slide. Which is so with diff. He means visually though.
He wants visually.
Yeah.
But
long ago there was technology that did that. That was kind of a.
Was it? I don't know if there's anybody on from AD SciCAD, but I'm pretty sure it was.
It was one of our German friends, AD SciCAD, or somebody from Conterra. I think it was AD SciCAD.
Had written that.
And so we should. That's a great one. Yeah. Because really, that's what you want to be able to do. Now I know one thing we did do, and because we're pushing stuff to Git, that we did do is the workspaces now they order things more intelligently, so that a diff tool can show you the text is different and also then store less, but that's not what people really want.
Right. Yeah. So we know that on the whole versioning side, we got work to do, and so we'll keep.
Yeah. But what people can do, and some people have done if they want versioning, is you can install FME server and just not license it, and then you can use it just for your works as a workspace repository, and then way to back up, and you can do that, and sort of in the meantime.
Yes.
But the plan is, as Dale said, to be able to connect Workbench directly to a Git backend, and we want to do that in such a way that it is server and desktop are looking at the same thing.
Yeah. So somebody's wanting to know if they can get at that fresh version of the docs. And actually, I can tell folks, if you go to docs.safe.com right now and scroll, maybe I'll get Don to do that.
Yeah.
So we took the bold move yesterday, actually, to make a policy change, and docs.safe.com if you go down to the bottom to the Python stuff,
Yep.
right near the bottom of that, way down, yep, that says Python API. If you click on that,
That one, the plugin
if
API.
we're any luck at
Oh,
all, we're
look at
picking
that.
up the new version. Yeah.
Nice.
So it is taken over.
And that was made live as of yesterday.
Yes. Yeah. So okay, some folks want to just do update all transformers at once. There, long ago, we had that, and then the problem is that there can be behavior changes, and so then you don't know what went wrong.
Yeah.
But we can understand that if you have a workspace with 50 or 100 transformers, you might want to update them in a bunch. So bulk updating would be.
Or it might be nice it would also be nice if I knew I had 15 testers and I want to update all the testers as well.
Yes.
So then I could be selective in some sense. I want to update all the testers rather than, or then, hey, I'm going for it. I'm going to update all. So there's,
I think we should look at that. So thanks, Knut, for that. Apparently there's an idea on our ideas exchange for people to vote on if they want that. And I'm going to ask whoever's on Q&A, if you can just chat to everybody that link to that idea, which is on knowledge.safe.com to have them vote. Michael Abarta says it was 2009 when he showed you a diff tool.
2009. Wow.
Wow, we're getting old. So yeah. So anyway, let's see. Esco is quite concerned about the job scheduler. He really has some things he would like us to fix in the scheduling.
Perfect.
Or make fancier. So
yeah.
Definitely want to get on that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Esco. Let's see. All right. Are we looking at anything besides Git for source repositories?
At this point, we haven't bolted any other back end, but we're always open to hear other things that folks would want. Yeah.
And some people are asking for a better connection between the data inspector back to Workbench. And I know for a while we've had this idea that if you bring up the data, view the things you like, and then sort of drag that over, would sure be.
You would be able to pre-populate a Workbench just with those layers and
Yeah. So Civil 3D Reader, I know it had a bunch of changes. I can't rattle off what they were, but I know we continue to support more types in there. But Thomas, if you wanted to tell us exactly what things you'd want, that would be very helpful.
Yeah, there's a format that we don't talk a lot about, but actually it gets a lot of use and it does an amazing job. Yeah.
There was actually some requests recently about us doing at least a primitive Civil 3D writer that could do a couple things. If anybody's online, chime in and say. The properties data set. I don't know, Herman, if we read the AutoCAD properties data set or not. Have to ask Matthew. We'll have to get back to you on that. So some folks, again, just asking how much faster will FME 2018 be? Really, we can't know for sure. You have to try your own thing. I know what we didn't show.
We didn't show that slide.
The joiner.
Oh, wow. How did we miss that? Well, let's just run it.
There's, in terms of joining things. Okay, yeah, let's
just run it.
We got 1 minute left. Where is
it? Feature writer versus feature writer.
Big feature merge.
There it is, big feature merge.
So this is showing that new joiner transformer. Is that the one there? So the joiner transformer can take the place of the old feature merger. So we'll see if this is it, and just zoom that out a little bit. Is that, or make her big? Yeah.
Make her big. Yeah.
Yeah, this is it. So if we run this with the feature merger, it takes quite a long time. Let's go ahead and hit run, and I can talk through it. So the joiner is like a database join. You can do a left or a right, or and then or an inner, I think.
Yeah.
Or a full. You don't need to do a right because you can flip
the connection.
And then you just sort of say what you want to happen. It'll do like a database. So this is reading a few 100,000, about 300,000 very big records.
Yeah.
And we're joining them to each other.
Yeah.
And it'll just take, we'll see here.
20 seconds, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know. Pretty fast. But this used to take like longer ago, like literally hours in old FMEs.
Yeah.
So this is something to keep in mind. It uses a new approach if you were struggling with feature merger and you don't need some of the fancy capabilities of feature merger, or you think more like a databasey person, then this is the one to use.
Yeah, so if you've been using feature merger a lot, always now think joiner. And 99% of the cases you'll be able to do what you want with the joiner. Yeah, and we won't even run this with the so 22 seconds. This machine is obviously really feeling something. Probably my server.
Yes.
So CPU. So you can see 33 seconds is this machine just fighting to get the CPU. So really, 22 seconds is what you would expect to get on this. And if you ran it with the feature merger, you're looking at many minutes.
Right. Well, why don't you flip them around? We'll start it running, and then we'll say goodbye to people.
Okay, sounds good.
So we can disable that one
and enable this one,
and then we'll let it run.
And then we'll let it run.
And I think with that, while it's going, it's kind of like the closing credits.
Yeah, exactly. How they go a long time, except there's not going to be any clip in the middle of this that makes you want to sit and watch them.
Like this, the preview for the
like all the Marvel movies do. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. Don and I'll hang around a bit longer. We'll hang around till this translation finishes. How about that?
That's right. So we might be here till lunch. You never know.
So thanks so much for all your support for all these years. We do appreciate it deeply. And
as we travel around, we really do encourage you to come to the world tour. We really enjoy meeting each and every one of our users and learning how we can make FME better, and sharing what we've done. Just the things that come out of that help us make the next version of FME even better is just huge for us. And we're lucky. We love what we do. We get to work every day with an amazing team here, and our users are just of FME are just fantastic, and we just love getting out on the road and meeting you all. So
So thanks so much again for tuning in today. As I said, we'll hang around. There's a few interesting more questions I'm going to talk about, but if you have to run, go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy whatever FME you're using right now, and enjoy FME 2018 even more once you get your hands on it in the future. Thanks so much, folks.
Thank you.
So Don, how are we doing there?
We are not doing great. The feature merger.
Tyson
and we made this faster.
Oh yeah, it's way faster.
It's way faster than
it
used to be.
Yeah.
But the joiner is probably one of my new favorite transformers now.
Hardly used them yet, but
I know.
Tyson Havicourt says we should have an FME theme song.
Oh, we could have the lizard and the Zipster singing along.
Transformers, there's more than meets the eye.
Okay, look at that. We're done 2.85% of intermediate processing.
So somebody asked about Revit. And we are about to kick off a couple of fronts on the Revit, one that will read against the A360 using their APIs, and one that will read the native files using another API method. So, Tim,
that'll be nice, because right now you have to go in and export it, and
And let's see, more OpenStreetMap support, a basic transformer to suck in and output.
Yeah, we've done work on OpenStreetMap. It didn't make the list, but lots of work on OpenStreetMap. So give that a try in FME 2018 and the beta, and give us feedback.
Yeah.
If you find anything, it's still not, the door is not yet closed. So.
Yeah. And let's see, inline courier still. Stephen is asking. Okay, so you got the joiner, you got the inline courier. What gives?
Yeah, the joiner is much easier to use.
Right.
Yeah, the inline courier, if you're a real SQL guru, then you can write really custom SQL.
Right.
But if you just want something really quick, and often I think the joiner will do it.
It'll be the go-to place. I actually think we can apply feature table or the turbo technology to the joiner eventually too. Yeah. And let him or her spin along.
That's right.
Much faster.
That's right.
So Don, how are you doing there with your translation?
I think we're almost 50% of the way through intermediate processing. So you can see the difference. Yeah. The nice thing about this approach is it does give one time to go get a coffee.
Reflect.
Reflect, chat with a few friends.
See, the problem is the pace of life just continues to get faster and faster.
I know.
And sometimes it's nice to do a feature merge, just sort of relax.
So you could actually have a published parameter on this. I could toggle one or the other. And a tester that could just route to one or the other, and depending on if you're pressed for time or not. You know, oh boy, I really got to get this done quickly. I use the joiner. Otherwise, I use the.
If you want some time to, well, you know what you could do is read Facebook and LinkedIn and things while this is going.
Lots of stuff. Yeah.
You could probably read a whole bunch of tweets.
And somebody asked me once, as you guys make FME server or FME engine faster, are you guys worried that now people with server won't have to buy an extra engine? And absolutely not.
No.
You know, we want to make engine and everything as fast as we can. And so we never worry about things like that. So
yeah. Oh, somebody wants a visual representation of their scheduler.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a big push on schedules in general. Yeah. One of the things we want to do is be able to dump them to like an iCal format, so that you could see them in your whatever tool supports iCal. So yeah. So
and if you'd publish an iCal feed.
That's right. And that might even happen in a .x.
Right.
You know,
because that might not be too bad.
That's not too bad.
Oh, Don, you're almost done. What's going to happen after?
I think we have to go another round here. I think this is just intermediate. And then there's a few things.
There's another intermediate.
Yeah, see, so don't get too excited.
Well, it's clicking right along now.
Oh yeah, it's smoking. Yeah.
Look at it go.
And this is, again, Dale and I mentioned, this is faster than it was in 2017.
It's a lot faster.
We're asking a lot of the feature merger here. Yeah. Like in the old days, we would never do a demo with, you know, hundreds of thousands of things, right? Yeah. Or millions of things, right? You did.
There it is.
There we go.
That wasn't so bad. How long was it?
5 minutes versus, you know.
See, you can easily show that in a webinar.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, when it's over.
We'll open up the FME World Tour with this.
That's right.
So anyway, that might mean it's time for us to say goodbye.
I think it is. So.
Anybody asks what? Let's see. Any last questions? Ask Kat about an iCal writer. I emailed her once. Steven Cyphers has given us an iCal writer. Oh. Somebody's asking what we can do with Google Maps. We can certainly lay stuff on top of Google Maps in a variety of ways. You need to do your own scripting.
Yep.
And let's see. All right. Yeah, this Knut is actually talking about the caching and how for a long run, like for example, if you really were using the feature merger, you did that, you would really like to do run from here.
Yeah. Exactly. This is a great example. Then you could run from the feature merger, you never have to do that again. Yeah.
Augmented reality. Again, if you have a 3D model, we can get that out into things. If you had a KML file by itself, you would have to lay that on top of something.
That's right. So you'd have to have a background map of some
and
kind.
a terrain, but it's easy enough to put that into FME.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. So I don't think anything happened with City GML much that I know of.
I think so.
Yeah. The PDF stuff, there's just a lot there.
Yeah.
So that's worth trying. So I think maybe we'll call that good for today.
Sounds great. Yeah.
Civil 3D elements to Esri geodatabase. I think we're doing a pretty good job. Andreas has asked about that. If there's stuff we don't move right now, let us know and we can continue to do that. We do know that civil is a big deal for people.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
Great.
All right.
Yep.
So goodbye, everybody. We'll stop the broadcast now. If you still want to ask some questions, the panel will hang around. And with that, I think we'll just say goodbye and happy FME.
Yep. Thank you.